I'm going to quickly run through what is included in this senior experience bundle. Um, the first piece is the personal learning plan, and this is something they put together with you at the beginning of a session. So if it's the beginning of the school year, if you are a senior advisor, for example, you might show this to them, during the first week of school or sometime at the beginning. And it's basically a digital template where they can learn about themselves through a variety of surveys and discussions, and really exploring who they are and what their goals are and what their interests are. And then they put in their goals for the year. And in their PLP portion of this, they add all of their goals and how they're going to meet those goals. And then as they complete them, they drag this checkbox in. And then the remaining of this PLP is their outcomes, where rubrics can be placed. They can put the reflections in there. You can add a teacher narrative or their transcripts or whatever it is, course requirements, all that kind of stuff in there, whatever it is that they need to do throughout the course of the year. And then the other part of this is a big part of moving on beyond high school is to really have content knowledge in addition to really important 21st century skills, those soft skills that help make you successful in your career. So students use this portfolio to build evidence of those skills. So for example, let's say they're interested in being able to think critically or problem solve. Then they would make note of that and reflect on that. And here, let's see, these are portfolio planner skill 2, skill 1. This is where they put a plan for the experiences that they're going to coordinate in order to meet those skills, or in order to build and improve on those skills. And then here is where they enter these journal entries on those experiences. So let's say they wanted to work on problem solving, and they insert that skill here. They coordinate an experience to help them with that. So for example, maybe they do a STEM activity or a problem-based learning experience, and then they reflect on that experience here and put a photo here that is evidence of building that skill of problem solving, and so on. So at the end of the session, they can look back in here and look at all of the practical ways that they have tried to improve on those really important skills post-graduation. And this is something that I have my students do throughout the course of the year or the session. Then the other piece of this is the project-based learning career exploration piece. This is printable and digital. There are teacher instructions, so it's really set up well for you to there's no prep. You don't have to really do anything because this is self-directed. And then the student portion of this includes all of these templates for them to fill in. So basically they choose a career of interest and they explore it through project-based learning. And project-based learning principles includes talking to a community expert and choosing a innovative final product, choosing a way to authentically present that information that they learned. And all of this stuff is really lined out. There's some challenge yourself options. Here's a project plan with research questions for them to look into, in addition to any other questions that they have about the career of choice. A checklist for all of the things that they need to have accomplished by this point, a reflection, and there's a rubric. So this is what I would do at the beginning of the senior project or the senior experience. And then they can put, later on in this senior project, there's a career portfolio, and they can put their results and their experiences into their career portfolio from this project. All right, then this is my favorite piece of this bundle. My favorite piece of the senior project is seniors take their career and they connect a community problem or issue with it. So, for example, if they're looking into public health or, public health as a career, and they're seeing that childhood obesity, for example, is an issue, or mental health, the stigma of mental health is an issue in their community, then they would explore solutions and create an action plan for playing a role in impacting that cause. So, for example, let's just say their career is public health, and they're interested in the mental health piece of it, and they want to create a campaign that reduces the stigma of mental health in youth in their community. They would create an action plan to do so. And this includes all of the templates required for that. And this is a really important one because it can be evidence of value and credentials when they're putting together their career portfolios. They can add this experience to that. So then the final piece of this is their career portfolio, and I'm going to show you. It all kind of comes down to this, that all these experiences, their career exploration, their building 21st century skills, their community action project, they would be able to showcase all of that in this career portfolio. So it really includes everything that you would need to do that kind of thing, and each of these are clickable. This also comes in a digital and printable version, but if you want to get to the resume, for example, these page numbers are all connected to a slide, so it's easy to navigate. So let's say work samples is an important piece of any career portfolio, and they could put their community action project outcomes into this as a work sample, for example. So if they created a campaign to reduce the stigma of mental health in youth in their community, they basically reflect on that here, talk about what they did, and then insert a photo of them in action. This includes a resume, it includes volunteer work, it includes references, anything that they would need moving on. And the important part of this whole experience is that students graduate or walk away from high school with a plan instead of just kind of scooting out the door and hoping that things fall into place. This really gets them thinking about career pathways and options for post-secondary life.